The early morning. Sun cast a soft glow across the neighborhood, making everything in Willow Creek Estates look like something out of a real estate brochure. Perfectly trimmed hedges, symmetrical driveways, and front porches straight from a catalogue. I was halfway through unpacking boxes in my garage when I noticed her Karen, the self-appointed queen of this suburb, president of the Willow Creek HOA for the past decade, and the unofficial neighborhood watchdog. There she stood on her porch, holding a medium-sized cardboard box like she'd just snatched it from the jaws of danger. Her eyes flicked over to my house with a smug little grin tugging at her lips. I froze. That was my package. I had been waiting for that delivery all week. It was crucial my entire new police department uniform was inside, along with my badge and credentials. After my recent transfer from the city precinct, this suburban assignment was supposed to be a fresh start for me and my daughter. Quieter streets, safer surroundings, fewer emergencies, or so I thought. The package had been scheduled for delivery by 10 a.m. At 9:42, my phone buzzed with the confirmation notification. Delivered, front porch. Great. I figured I'd grab it as soon as I finished setting up my tool rack. But when I walked out at 10:05, the porch was empty. At first, I thought maybe it had been dropped at the wrong address. These streets all looked the same, and the house numbers weren't exactly easy to spot from the road. But when I opened the delivery app and pulled up the proof of delivery photo, there it was. My package sitting exactly where it should have been, on my doormat. A feeling settled in my gut. Not just frustration, something more. 2 decades in law enforcement had taught me how to recognize that little prickling at the back of my neck. I opened my doorbell camera app. The footage buffered, then began to play. 9:42 a.m. Delivery driver approaches, sets the package down, snaps a photo. 9:46 a.m. Karen appears. She glances both ways like a cartoon villain checking for witnesses, walks straight over, scoops up the box, and hurries back across the street. I paused the video, leaning back against my garage door with a low whistle. I'd barely been in this neighborhood for 10 days, and already I was dealing with a federal mail theft situation. I called my new sergeant immediately. "Hey, Lieutenant," I said, "we've got a situation. My badge and department-issued gear just got stolen off my porch. I've got the thief on camera." His tone shifted instantly. "You serious? Your active badge, clear as day. Neighbor across the street, name's Karen. Don't do anything yet," he ordered. "This falls under federal jurisdiction. I'm notifying internal affairs. Stay put." An hour later, 2 unmarked cars rolled into the neighborhood. Detectives Ruiz and Patel introduced themselves at my door, showed their badges, and asked to see the footage. They studied every frame, taking down notes and capturing still shots from the video. "This is bad," Ruiz muttered. "Stealing federal property is one thing, but opening a package with police credentials, that's multiple felonies." Patel nodded. "We'll need a warrant before we go in. Meanwhile, don't tip her off," I agreed. No sudden moves, but Karen had other ideas. The next morning, as I trimmed my hedges, she marched across the street with that same clipboard she always carried. Her HOA logo shirt pressed like she was ready for a photo shoot. "Mr. Chang," she said, deliberately mispronouncing my last name. "Several neighbors have voiced concerns about unusual activity at your home. Strange packages, odd visitors, suspicious behavior." I gave her a polite smile. "Just settling in. New job starting soon." She scribbled on her clipboard like I'd confessed to running a crime ring. "Well, I'll be keeping a close eye on things," she sniffed. I nodded, turned back to my hedges, and let her walk away, completely unaware of the unmarked surveillance van parked just down the street. What she didn't know was that Internal Affairs had already spoken to several other neighbors. Turns out, mine wasn't the first missing package in Willow Creek. Medication, gifts, electronics. People had been filing quiet complaints for months. No proof, no suspects. Until now. The next day, just after lunch, things escalated fast. 2 black SUVs and a patrol car pulled into Karen's driveway. 4 officers in tactical vests stepped out, along with detectives Ruiz and Patel. I watched from my living room window as they knocked firmly on her door. Karen answered, looking more confused than threatened at first. Then she saw the badges. The colour drained from her face. Karen Ruiz's voice carried halfway down the street. "We have a federal warrant to search your property for stolen government materials." "This is ridiculous," she screeched. "I'm the HOA president. I was trying to protect the neighbourhood." "I thought the package looked suspicious. We have video evidence of you taking property that wasn't yours," Patel replied calmly. Karen kept protesting as officers entered her home. Barely 10 minutes later, one of them emerged holding a clear evidence bag. Inside, my uniform, my badge, and my department ID. "Found it in her bedroom closet," the officer said. Ruiz turned back to Karen. "You're under arrest for theft of federal property, mail theft, and possession of stolen law enforcement credentials." Neighbours gathered on their lawns. Smartphones recorded every second as Karen's wrists were cuffed and she was led to the waiting patrol car. Some gasped. Others laughed. One neighbour called out, "Hey Karen, was it suspicious when my kid's birthday present disappeared too?" Another shouted, "Guess the HOA's getting a new president." Karen's face twisted in rage as she screamed, "This is entrapment. I was framed. He's not even a real cop. Check his credentials." Ruiz held up my badge for the entire street to see. "Already did." By the time the police car pulled away, the neighbourhood felt lighter. Over the next few weeks, the stories came out. Karen had been quietly hoarding packages for months. Medication, electronics, personal mail, anything left unattended for more than an hour risked disappearing. She'd always claimed she was investigating for safety reasons. Now, she was facing federal charges. Mail theft, identity theft, possession of government property. 3 months later, I was grilling in the backyard when my neighbour, Mrs. Evans, stopped by with a pie. "Did you hear the latest?" she said, placing the pie on my patio table. "No, what's up?" She took a plea deal. 5 years probation, $100,000 fine, and she has to do 300 hours of community service. I let out a low whistle. Justice served. Mrs. Evans smiled, and the HOA board finally voted her out for good. First time in years this neighbourhood doesn't have her breathing down our necks. As she left, I glanced around the neighbourhood. Kids were riding bikes. Neighbours were chatting on front lawns. People were putting up decorations without fear of receiving a violation notice. Willow Creek Estates finally felt like home. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more crazy neighbourhood drama. Thanks for watching.